Hey y'all, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Text Adventure Tuesday. So last week we this is loud. Last week we did a bunch of new text adventures from Spring Thing. We did the extremely cool Mod Tiger extremely cool Mod Tiger. It was one of the coolest things to listen to what JRAM was listening to, was reading on her screen. But today I'm gonna crackle my water bottle and let's get back to 1985. Let's get back to A Mind Forever Voyaging. Let's get back to a pen that works. Let's get back to my overly large map. So I'm actually going to change my capture and take a look at this thing that I found. So this is kind of hard to see. Let's shrink it down a bit. So what's super cool? All right, doesn't matter how small I make it. This is on archive.org. Our friend, our buddy, our pal. We have run games off of archive.org. And what that means usually is that it's a buggy mess because it's running on my browser and I have a very potato computer. But what I found in trying to find the packaging is actually Steve Moretsky's like personal notes on this game in particular. So if we zoom in a bit here, like we have let's zoom out so I can actually see. Like we have all of like the sets of parameters. What I found really interesting just from like a game design perspective is that we also have, and I'm sorry I'm clicking around a lot, we also have the bug reports from product testing or like people's general like opinions about this. So it's kind of interesting. Like this one in particular was one that I found really interesting because like, okay, found some bugs. This one on the right, it found some bugs, things like that. You know, and just like, oh, okay, I like after the correct security code is entered somewhere, a message such as access granted would be nice. And it's interesting to see the back and forth between this and the game developer to go, no, I mean, but like you put in the right security code, you can just, the door opens or whatever. You know, it's super interesting to see like, yeah, like there's this back and forth. But one of the things that I find really, really interesting is like the fact that some people um didn't like this game at all. Like, I'm sorry, zoom in a bit. I'm sorry, I wasn't able to get very far in this game. In all of your other games, there's always something very specific that you must do in order to win. But in A Mind Forever Voyaging, I simply had nothing to do. Perhaps I just overlooked something obvious, or perhaps something is wrong. And like, I think I think that's so like interesting because I feel when I'm playing these games, a lot of the earlier games, it's like, what the heck am I supposed to do? Like the whole first stream of A Mind Forever Voyaging, I did not complete anything. Um, there's spoilers, but this is a 20-year-old game, a 35-year-old game. Um, but one of the things also that I found interesting is that like these are, I think, regular beta testers, so they're used to sirens going by their house. Okay, they turned, didn't go by the house, but like, okay, it was descriptive, imaginative, but it seemed to lack over the traditional like Infocom humor. Make up for it in your next game. The descriptions throughout the game were superb. This might not sell as well as past games because it's only available for whatever. And like, yeah, this was pushing sort of low end computers for sure. Like, not all Apple IIe owners have 128K. Like, this was really pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Um, so I just thought this was interesting. I'm gonna dive into this a little bit more. I literally found it in a few minutes. This is the like one thing that I did see. So in Perelman's office, if you look at the pen, the reply is that the same pen is in the package. Probably nothing interesting should be found with this pen. He hasn't even seen it. Doesn't he realize it's going to be a genuine 21st century plastic pen? No, we're not going to fix this bug. Um, and then there's like genuine bugs, like wait until was changing the P number and not resetting. Like I just think this is interesting as like a design document, and it's also got like all these different kinds of like drafts. It's got the drafts of the initial like uh article that you read in the manual. It's got like drafts of the manual completely. And this is fascinating for it to be 500 pages. And then it's also got like different notes that I think Steve Moretsky like put together. Whoa, it's the original drawing. So like this stuff is like, to me, super 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 neat. Like, I really love seeing these kinds of like early design documents, or even like all the way through design documents. And I guess that's where take their words for it comes from. Those beta tests, and then it's just like a collection of articles about it, you know. And like, I think this is valuable too, to see like what is going on right now. Like, here's an article about like, oh, it's a new game in Newsweek. Like, oh, okay, software publishing and selling, like an industry rag talking about like how Interactive Fiction Plus is trying to court new audiences. Just like a small like advertisement for it. So I don't know. I think this is truly wild. Hey, $65 for TurboTax. But I just think this is so wonderful to even have this like at all available. I would love to read through this maybe a little deeper before next time that we play Mind Forever Voyaging, which will probably be in 2 weeks, and really like dig into this to figure out sort of what is going on. Um, oh well. Um, what all is in here? What kind of things could can you learn? Wow, this review highlighted in big bold yellow. A Mind Forever Voyaging is the most original game to come out of the Infocom stables in ages. And I think this is a big thing with A Mind Forever Voyaging. It's very like different than what was coming out sort of at the time, or at least that was like very like publicly known. Like I think again, I keep comparing this to Suspended, and I think Suspended is wild. And I would love to take a crack at that with an extra brain or two. Um, but I just love this as wow, it's a computer gaming world from November 1986. Um, you know, I just think this is wild. Now it's got the what even is this? Just press releases? Rules. Anyway, I just thought this was super cool to find, um, which was not what I was looking for, which was this, our wonderful handy dandy A Mind Forever Voyaging manual, um, which this is the map. We have explored most of this map in the year that we are in, if not all of it. We still need to go find the courthouse. That is the last thing on our list is go to court. Which for anybody who has done jury duty, I am hoping that this is a little bit less messed up. But I just love all of this. Like, oh, you can like rent the Sky Car, visit the Railroad Museum. Oh, there's Glutman's Restaurant, and it tells you where it is. Which like going into this manual, not having played the game, I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. And now you're like, wait, no, this gives you like genuinely good information. Like, here's the Railroad Museum. You're gonna need to go to the Railroad Museum. Like, I don't know. I think I've just one of the things that I've been really amazed with, and in comparison to like what you can actually do with modern interactive fiction, because like you can't put something in a gray box and put feelies. Like I know there's some authors who have done feelies in the modern time, but like it was already a gimmick, and now it's like, yeah, you're just putting feelies to put feelies, because like that's a retro kind of feel. Um, so I don't know. This is all just like super wild to me, just to like explore all of this stuff, and because of the fandom and because of all of that. Um, and I'm sorry if I take some breaks. I've had a weird cough. Um, Probably nothing other than laying around. Um, but like even this, Dunbar's, okay, it's Rockville, Pierre. It's at Rockville Center, and then they just make up like Pierre, Main Street near Old State House, Calgary, Maple Leaf Mall. So it tells you, oh, this is at Rockville Center. Like I don't know. I really love this for just like the depth of storytelling that it does. Just man, even this basic thing where it's like, well, basic, this ad for joy booths, and it already tells like there's something wrong here. Joy booths are not the problem. We'll give it to you straight. Some people say joy booths have contributed to the moral decline of the country. They say joy booths provide a convenient place for people to escape their worries, even to the point of abandoning their lives. They say this leads to a lack of responsibility, thereby adding to the criminal population. We believe that if people are going to end their lives or become criminals, they'll find a way to do it. And the way to prevent people from such acts is to make their lives better. For most of us, joy booths are simply a way of making our lives better. And I don't know if it was last time that we played Mind Forever Voyaging, but between the two times that we played, there was a joy booth that we entered. Um, and it definitely was interesting, to say the least. It definitely feels so. A lot of this game was compared to like Brave New World and 1984, and I think that's just like, oh, here's some like mildly dystopic fiction that everybody's read at least once. But I think one of the things that man, I'm sorry, I'm using. Oh man, I can fit all the things on one monitor. Um, so yeah, let's get back to the game. But I think you know it's unfair that they kept comparing it to like well felt works of fiction. But one of the things that I think was directly comparable is, to me anyway, these joy booths feel like what the feelies are described as at in Brave New World, except with like a little bit of like, oh, this is just for like one dude at a computer mindset, as opposed to, oh, this is a group thing going on. I just find that all super super interesting. Um, but speaking of super interesting, we got a lot accomplished last time we played. We have done most of the things that we need to do. Um, we have eaten a meal at a restaurant. We have talked to a government official. We have visited a power generation facility. We have read a newspaper. We have ridden quite a bit of public transit. We have talked to a church official. We've gone to a movie. and we visited home. We had an Irs auditing system installed for some reason, and the only thing left to do is attend court in session. So it is 8:12 a.m. It is, I believe, June 25th, 2041. We are in simulation mode. There are 3 modes that I have found. There is library mode, where you can just read stuff. It's just neat. A lot of really great world building in there. There is simulation mode, which is like the main part of the game, where you actually are put into. So the plot of this is that you are the plot of this is that you are a computer built in 2031, and you're being put out 10, 20, 30 years in the future to see what happens to basically like Main Street USA because of the political things going on. There is a candidate right now who has the plan, which is basically Reagan austerity. And I think the main point of this is that like Reagan austerity doesn't work, and it's going to make everything worse. But there's a lot of simulation elements going on, and that's in simulation mode. So we're right now in the first part. We're going to, God willing, finish that pretty quickly and move on to the second part, which is 10 years further in the future. We are currently in our bedroom. We have a wonderful wife, Jill. She likes painting and romance novels. And we have a baby. I did steal the baby's duck, and I thought putting the baby's duck into the lake with all the other ducks was a plan, and it apparently the lake is just where you put things to get rid of them. So really quickly, let's examine self. Let's get our bearings. You look much as you always have, a normal middle-aged male. Your clothes are simple but adequate. I'm going to uncapture my cursor. Sorry about that. Here we go. Let's look at the baby. Your son, Mitchell Rav Sim, was named for your father and your mentor. He's sleeping peacefully, his little face scrunched up in a cute mask of baby fat. Jill looks up. Perry, I heard a news report yesterday about interest rates and housing prices. The economy keeps going the way it's going, and someone buys your Africa book, we might be able to afford a house next year. Let's look at Jill. Jill looks as beautiful as the day you married her 7 years ago. She's standing near the bureau, getting dressed. What kind of inventory do I have? I've got a credit card. I've got a newspaper. I've got a sweater. And it's a nice sweater. And I've got a key. Can I wear the sweater? You're now wearing the sweater. I don't think I'm wearing anything else. Oh, I'm wearing clothes. But I'm wearing a very nice sweater. This sweater is the sweater that we bought at, I want to say it's called Dunbar's, the store that's in the manual. This sweater is a bright and colorful sweater made of myelon. So I'm awake. I'm going to kiss Jill. Jill kisses you back. Ooh la la, she says afterwards. I'm going to kiss the baby. Despite Mitchell's pudgy adorableness, you reconsider so as not to wake him. I will go south out of the bedroom. Look at the easel. How far did she get? Let's look at the painting. How far did she get? So this is the large living area of your apartment with a bedroom to the north and a kitchen to the east. The front door of the apartment next to the couch on the south wall is open. We just left it open when we went to sleep. A huge window provides a panoramic view to the west. Jill's easel occupies a beautiful well-lit spot near the window. Her current painting is on the easel. In one corner is the old word processor where you do your writing. Let's look at this painting. Painting is a bright watercolor of the clifftop Bermuda cottage colony where you and Jill spent your honeymoon. Let's go to the kitchen. This is the tiny kitchen of your apartment. Next to the sink is a small refrigerator. Along the western wall near the doorway to the living area is a dinette set. Let's open the fridge. Opening the refrigerator reveals a ham sandwich, a turkey sandwich, a can of soda, and a bottle of baby formula. Get ham sandwich. Get turkey sandwich. Get soda. Get formula. I think I did this before. Let's give formula to baby. Mitchell wakes up for a moment and sucks on the bottle. A moment later, his breathing indicates that he is asleep. Give formula to Jill. And this is, I think, the big difference for a Mind Forever Voyaging compared to other games. Like, there is, like, that one reviewer was talking about how there's no Infocom humor. Like, I am pretty sure Zizzy doesn't do anything. Yeah, Zizzy, I don't know the word Zizzy. You know, there's none of that, but I think that there's, like, in the mundanity of, like, oh, I can, like, hang out with my wife and talk to her about whatever. I can, like, give formula to the baby, and it's just, like, flavor text, but I think useful flavor text. Ask Jill about painting. The watercolor? It's pretty, but it doesn't say anything. If only I could think of some good subject material. Sorry, Jill. Give formula to Jill. After a moment, Jill refuses your offer. So I should have 2 sandwiches. Yep, 2 sandwiches, a can of soda, a bottle of baby formula. All right, let's head on out. Let's try to find this courthouse. I will be super honest. I also have the Game Facts walkthrough that was written by Deborah Kearns. That was written only a couple years ago. I think that's, man, just the fact that there are these kinds of walkthroughs is just wonderful. So having this, if I get super stuck, I've got a place to look. But I'm not super stuck. I just need to find the courthouse. And I'm going to assume the courthouse is maybe near City Hall? Maybe not. But let's leave. Let's leave. I don't want to be here. You're at the hall near your apartment. You're standing in the hall at the door to your apartment, which lies open to the north. The stairs and elevators to the street are off to the east. You descend to the first floor and head for the lobby. You're in the vestibule of a typical high-rise city apartment building. A wide expanse of labeled buzzers and tiny mailboxes fills one wall. Glass doors lie closed to the west. Next to this inner door is a picture phone. The street lies to the east. Let's go out to the street. We are at Southway and Park, which is where my apartment is. I actually have not mapped the rest of this in my map. That is fine. Southway bends sharply at this intersection, leading east and southwest. Park Street begins here and ends north. There are new buildings on the northeast and western corners, and older-looking buildings to the northwest and southeast. A grocery store, its brightly lit window heaped with food, spans the southern side of the street. The city is still fairly quiet, but there are more people around now than during the dead of night. One of the things that I love about this game is that you can go shopping. It's again just like this, and we have gone shopping both other weeks. All it says is you go shopping, you get groceries, and then you can put the groceries away in your house. And like just this nod towards slice of life, I think is so interesting. So I'm gonna keep exploring because if I look at my map, we are not seeing. There is still a little bit left, so I'm gonna go southwest along Southway. So we're at the Southway underpass. Here, Southway passes under the old interstate highway. A fire station sits off to the northwest in the shadow of the elevated highway. A car lot lies to the southeast. So there are a lot of these car lots. They are just kind of interstitial areas. Southway continues northeast in the city and southwest in the suburbs. Can we go to the suburbs? Warning, you have reached the boundary of this simulation. So this is part of this framing device of the simulation of the game is that, oh, this is a simulation of a small town. There's only so much you can do. And I think it's effective from a narrative kind of perspective that I don't know. I just don't. I think it's more effective than maybe it could have been if like they were like, well, you just walk and you're in the suburbs and you turn around. It's very like keeps you in sort of where you should be. Well, let's go to the fire station. It's a old fire station, but it's equipped with the latest models of fire trucks and fire copters. Southway lies to the southeast. I am so curious. Can I look at the fire copters? They're bright yellow, like most firefighting vehicles. So this is where I think this game is like a little short on like falls a little short is that like some things are just like oh they're bright yellow like most firefighting vehicles. Same answer for fire truck, and like that's fine. It's very clear to say like that doesn't matter. It's just window dressing, but like in I think it's depth in other places like they had to. There's only 128 kilobytes here. Like they had to find somewhere to short it, and I think that's where they shorted it. So okay, that's cool. So there's like a lot of these different places that you go, and it's just like, yeah, it's very yellow. Don't know what to tell you. There's, and I'm curious what that'll lead to be honest. But like, I just I'm so curious. Like, is that really window dressing? Is this stuff gonna change over the course of like 20 years? Um, so I'm not sure, but All right, let's go northeast back to Southway and Park. I'm just going to scan the bottom of Southway really quick. At Southway and Kennedy, Kennedy Street from the north ends here in a T. In a T with Southway. On the northwest corner is an opening in a temporary wood fence, and a car lot fills the northeast corner. A row of old brick triple deckers, recently renovated, lines the southern side of the street. And you can't get into those triple deckers. I've tried many times. I'm curious what this opening in the temporary wooden fence is. It's a construction site. A high-rise building is under construction here. A sign reads First Continent Bank Building, 6,000 square meters of office space, opening next year, September 1st, 2042. So, like, again, this is that window dressing, but this, I'm almost positive on the next round, is going to look different. All right, we are at Southway and River. Here at River Street, Southway ends its long trip from the western suburbs. South of here, the street bends towards the river. To the southwest are some brick houses, and a car lot occupies the northwest corner. That's that car lot. That car lot is most likely next to the mall. All along the east side of the street is a huge construction site. So, okay. I'm not going to keep going this direction for no reason. I just wanted to try and get the bottom part of the map. It's only go north. And that's Elm River. And okay, cool. So this is Elm Street begins here and crosses the downtown area to the west. Along the eastern side of the river stands the vast Jaemon Village building. You can enter Rockville Mall to the southwest, or the old Stock Exchange building to the northwest. An entrance to a tube station graces one corner of the intersection. So the tube helps us get around more quickly. I'm curious if it closes or something like that. But as it stands, I've got a pretty good layout of the city, so I should be able to go west a couple times and head over to City Hall. So we'll go west. It's Elm and Kennedy. It's an intersection with streets heading in 4 cardinal directions. There is a park entrance on the northwest corner and a hospital on the southwest corner. To the southeast lies a shopping mall, and a large old building with an impressive facade can be entered to the northeast. And that's the old Stock Exchange, according to my map. Which means I've been there. Elm Park, this is the intersection of the north-south Park Street and the east-west Elm Street. We are going down Elm Street right now. A park entrance is on the northeast corner, and a large old-fashioned edifice occupy the other 3 corners of the intersection. So the going northeast heads into Kennedy Park. So I'm going to go north. We're at Rockville Center, which is where Dunbar's is. This well-maintained portico of City Hall stretches along the west side of the plaza, and Dunbar's lies on the southeast corner. Park Street leads north and south. Main Street and Center Street both begin here, leading eastward and northeastward, respectively. So I'm going to go, if there is a court that is obvious, it would be in City Hall, right? City Hall isn't open yet. get you. All right. Let's think for a second. Well, City Hall's not open yet. Can we just wait? All right, let's try now. The city's seat of government is an old concrete slab building dating back to the late 20th century. The only exit is east. So here in City Hall is where we talk to a government worker. So maybe not. Let's go up Center Street. I can't go that way. So we're at Center and Kennedy. Great. I know where I am. We're at Center and Kennedy. At this intersection, Center Street cuts across Kennedy Street from northeast to southwest. A tall hotel has entrances to the east and southeast. The austere facade of Wang Hall rises to the west. Kennedy Street continues north and south. The city is fairly quiet, but there are more people around than during the dead of night. So these halls, the Jaemon Hall and Wang Hall, are these like cities within a city. It's basically like the ultimate promise of mixed use buildings. And it's very like, I think, kind of prescient. But that's me. It's Senator. So there's nothing here. If we go up northeast, we're at Bodansky Square. Okay, I'm gonna cheat and look up where this court is. From where you start, go southwest, record on, and go northwest to the courthouse, where court is in session. So let's go back. That is all the way back to Kennedy Park. Let's just run back. All right, so we start here at Elm Park, and it says go northwest. So that's got to be these old these large old-fashioned edifices, of which I have looked at 2, but not 3. So let's try northwest. The courthouse. Record on. The courthouse is from the same vintage. And I think that kind of signposting is a little weak, given that, you know, you were specifically given this task and it's not, you just would have to choose that one. It's a little frustrating. The courthouse is of the same vintage as the other governmental buildings in the area, dating from about 1990 or so. The future. An exit leads southeast. The court is in session. A woman is being tried for petty theft. I'm going to record on. And let's listen. At the moment, you hear nothing interesting. Can we X the court? Nope. Can we X the woman? The woman is dressed in prison garb. Record buffer full. Auto deactivation of record feature. Record on. Oh no! So I have to do this one more time. So let's do end simulation. Abort simulation. Abort into communications mode. Simulation terminated. So we now have to wait until Dr. Perelman, who is the doctor on this project, goes through our data, but we don't know where we need to go. That's good. Let's go to Dr. Perelman's office. The office of your creator, Dr. Abraham Perelman. It is cluttered and disorganized. Overstuffed bookshelves line the room. Perelman's desk is covered with a number of items, all of which are the feelies for the game. Where is everybody? It is, to be fair, 3:18 a.m. So maybe everyone's nowhere. I also remember from last week that we do not play with the third mode, which I did not describe. This mode lets you play with the facility, this prison facility, and it lets you play with the settings of the simulation. But the last time that we played with it too much, Dr. Perelman got mad, said don't do that, and then turned us off. Which, cold, understandable. Still cold. Okay. There's nothing in the cafeteria. Let's go to the control center. It's a large, well-organized room. Nothing. Buzz of many conversations. Let's listen to them. Oh, here we go. Even at maximum sensitivity, your oral receptors can't make out the words of the conversation. A message begins coming over the message line. Perelman to Prism, private line, no storage. We're getting ready to review your new recordings. I hope everything's there this time. I wonder how pissed off he's going to be if he realizes that we did not go to court. I think I'm just going to sleep. I don't think there's anything new. Under sleep mode, slipping pleasantly into unconsciousness. Message begins coming over the message line about an hour and a half later. Perelman to Prism, private line, no storage. Please meet me at the communications outlet in my office right away. Let's go to Perelman's office. Oh, interesting. Sleep mode and communications mode are different. So PEOF. This is the office of your creator, Dr. Abraham Perelman. It is cluttered and disorganized. Overstuffed bookshelves line the room. Perelman walks into the office and spots the active light on your communication unit immediately. Hello, Prism, he says, sitting down at his desk. Looks like you beat me here. Give me a moment, please. Begins quickly jotting down a few notes onto a pad. Perelman looks up, smiling. An excellent job, Prism. We just finished viewing your recordings, and the experts were quite pleased. He pauses as though realizing something for the first time. In fact, I thought they looked pretty good myself. I suppose this means the plan will get adopted. Well, what's next for you, I wonder? You're going to be a hero, you know. Probably get a call from the president congratulating you, except of course he's against the plan. Perelman notices a paper on his desk. Oh, apparently the simulation controller generated a lot of new data correlations while running your simulation. I'm not sure what the effect will be. Might make an even more accurate simulation possible. Well, I've got another meeting now, as usual, but once again, thanks for not letting me down. Perelman leaves. So we did achieve that. Good job. Good job. Success. Good success. I am flipping to a new card, new page, in my notebook. Part 2. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. And that's Edgar Allan Poe. We're back to communications mode. It is 3/18/2031. Let's scoot that and maybe it'll give me the 80 characters across I need. You have entered communications mode. The following locations are equipped with communication outlets. You know, I'm curious, what's on the World News Network feed? Your visual and audio circuits are now hooked directly to the programming of the World News Network. WNN WNN is covering the funeral of Chinese Prime Minister Hung Hua-sing, alternating with documentaries on modern-day China and videographies of the man who led the world's most populous nation for 14 years. Little else to do here. It is still covering. It is still covering. Guess the Prime Minister died. Okay. Okay. I'm so curious though, because this also suffers from that. Like, these are interesting set pieces, but there's not much going on. What's up on the rooftop? Same thing. Rooftop visual offers a view of the rolling countryside around the Prism complex. The perimeter fence is visible near the horizon. A wide road leads north towards a distant gray haze, presumably Rockville. There is no one in sight. What about the cafeteria? Like, it baffles me that this would be the choice. Like, is there really nothing to do here? Is this just, again, setting? Here, nothing. You can see the well-manicured lawns. What about the diners? Totally ordinary-looking people. And that totally ordinary is, like, this game's way of going, yes, that is an item, but there's nothing here. I don't necessarily want to go to Dr. Perelman's office. See a large, well, yeah. All right, let's just go to Perelman's office. A message begins coming over the message line. Prism, Abe Perelman. We have just one more quick series of psych tests we want to run. Please come to my office in about 10 minutes. So, I'll just wait. Perelman enters with Dr. Ernest Grimwald, a quintessential Viennese psychiatrist whom you met a few days earlier, and nods to you. Good afternoon, Prism. You remember Dr. Grimwald. It is a pleasure to see you again, says Grimwald, in an accent that matches his appearance perfectly. This should take only a couple minutes. I'm going to show you some patterns, and I simply want you to tell me the single word that comes to mind when you see them. Don't think about it, just say the first word you think of. Grimwald reaches below your viewing area and picks up a sheaf of placards. Ready to begin? He asks. Yes. This is nifty. Okay, here's the first one, he says, holding up a card to your visual unit. I wonder, let's just type words. I don't know what's going on. Typed wings. Grimwald nods knowingly, mumbles under his breath, and makes a note in his pad. Okay, here's the next one, he says, holding up a card to your visual unit. That's a Fnord. Grimwald nods knowingly, mumbles under his breath, and makes a note in his pad. Okay, here's the next one, he says, holding up a card to your visual unit. It's a hip bone. Sure, why not? Anybody in chat wants to tell me what it looks like, you can tell me. Grimwald nods knowingly, mumbles under his breath, and makes a note in his pad. Okay, here's the next one, he says, holding up a card to your visual unit. I wonder how long this is going to be. It's a Gemini sign. That's not the right sign, but that's what I'm going to say. Nods knowingly, mumbles under his breath, and makes a note in his pad. Okay, here's the next one. It's a lake. Grimwald makes a final notation in his notebook. Thank you, Prism. He picks up all the placards and leaves the room along with Perelman. And that's it? Alright, let's go into library mode. Enter library mode. So, alright, let's look at Perelman's. Nope, that's it. Well, maybe. What was Prism's name? Let's read that file really quick. Woo! Pursuing you in your transitions and other motes of other myths. Oh, I have read this before. Pursuing you in your transitions in other motes of other myths, your requisition be. The prism never held the hues, it only heard them play. Memory is a prism through which yesterday's light is passed, split into a rainbow of moments, each colored more dimly than the last. How will today's light look tomorrow? And how would tomorrow's look today? Would the filter of time be as brutal if that prism were two-way? That's a fake poem by Esber Honorth, Secret Recreations of the Soul, copyright 2007. End of file. All right. Let's see, what about current events? What current events are going on? It is still the same current events. It has only been one day. Yeah, we read most, if not all of these last time. Ooh, wait, but the auditing system. Here we are. This is new. The IRS Auditing System is a data-oriented computer with massive storage capacity. Using its database, it produces lists of the best audit possibilities. The percentage of filers audited in a given year can be easily changed and is usually based on the year's auditing division budget. This input must be in numeric form. Just checking to see if I wrote any of this down, but I didn't. This input must be in numeric form. The auditing computer will give status reports. Examples: auditing system status, auditing system, change auditing percentage to 5. So, okay. Interesting. Okay, close current directory. Let's exit to communication mode. Let's enter interface mode. You're now in interface mode. Yes, I do want to see the list of active ports. Auditing system status. Returns filed during the previous fiscal year. Returns filed during the previous fiscal year. 214,109,857. Audits ordered during the current fiscal year, 6 million. Audits completed during the current fiscal year, 5.6 million and change. Current auditing percentage 3. So I'm gonna cheat and scroll up. Oh no, I can't. Can I? Nope. Okay. Auditing. Oops, I was on mute. Sorry, y'all. Auditing system set percentage to 5. Auditing percentage changed to 5. Okay, well, enter communications mode. Let's just wait a little bit for a message. Ah! And I did not save. But okay, that counts as, can I just undo? Can I, oops? All right. Well, that's text adventures for you. Sometimes you do something silly. But I don't need to go anywhere else. I know where I need to go. So, deep breath. South, east. No, we don't even need anything in the kitchen. Let's just go south to the hall near the apartment. We're at the Parkview Apartments. Street lies to the east, north, northwest to the courthouse. We have to wait. Let's wait till 9. Northwest to the courthouse. Not open yet. Let's wait till 10. Northwest to the courthouse. Actually, this is good because I wanted to hang out. And just wait and see what was happening. Nothing? Did we attend court in session? Ask woman. Ask woman about crime. Can't hear you from here. Enter court. Look around you. Okay, well, let's abort the simulation. Let's wait. Okay, great. Please meet me in the communications outlet in my office, PEOF. So again, like, this is the thing about this game. I'm so confused as to why it would even have the interface stuff if it's just a way to... I think I'm just not giving it enough time. Hey, it's part 2. All right, we're back. Let's just chill in Dr. Perlman's office. Ready to begin? Can we begin now? Yes. It is 2 men in hats. Oh, one word. Men. Ghosts. River. It's a nun. That is feathers. Great. All right, let's wait. So we're not going to do anything. Hey, all right. A message begins coming over the message line. Perelman to Prism. I thought you'd be interested to know that based on your recordings, a special congressional subcommittee has recommended a plan for full adoption, which might occur in just a few weeks. Things sure are moving fast. I don't know about you, but I still get a funny feeling about the plan. Oh well. By the way, I've been so snowed under, I haven't had time to line up any projects for you. I'm really sorry. I hope you're keeping busy. Can I enter simulation mode? Let's save, so I don't have to do that again. All right, saved. Let's enter simulation mode. Ugh. This copy protection is killing me. And I get it, but why? Why? All right, purple, 22. Got 22. Got purple, should be 17. Simulations are available for 10 and 20 years in the future. Select simulation year. Let's do 20. The simulation is based 20 years hence. It is June 7th, 2051. It is 11:12 a.m. So like now I'm just confused. Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't, unless I'm supposed to do all of the same things. I just don't know. All right, but that's fine. I am fine with just wandering around and not knowing what I need to do. You are on a platform between two sets of tracks which lie to the northwest and southeast. On the wall is a brown sign which reads Elm Street and University Avenue, Rockville U, brown tube line terminus. The stairway leads up out of the station. There's a tube car. Its doors open. Is waiting on the tracks to the southeast. The doors of the brown tube car slide shut, and it glides out of the station in the same direction that it came from. All right, let's go. So this should be the university. So we were at Elm and University. Got it. University Avenue forks off to the northwest, meandering into the campus, which spans to the north side of Elm Street here. A tall apartment complex is on the south side of the street. The top of some steps indicate an entrance to the tubes. The sidewalks and street are crowded with people. Curious if I go south. Okay, so that's just University Heights. Let's go. Let's X self. You look much as you always have, a normal middle-aged male. Okay. Let's go see Jill. So it would be south to Southway, west to the Park View. What? Unlock door. Let's go west. Let's go north. So this is interesting. All right. This is a large living area of your apartment with a bedroom to the north and a kitchen to the east. The front door of your apartment, next to the couch on the south wall, is open. A huge window provides a panoramic view to the west. Jill's current artistic endeavor, an acrylide painting, is on her easel, near the entrance to the kitchen. In one corner is the old word processor where you do your writing. Jill is standing at the easel working on her current painting. A thin partition separates Mitchell's sleeping area from the rest of the living room. Jill looks up from her painting. Hi, hon. Any news from your agent today? So, in this simulation, it has been 10 years. We have not sold this book. We have also, therefore, not gotten a house. So we're still at this apartment. Oh. Talk to Jill about... Nope. Okay. Ask Jill about agent. About news. What a silly question, Perry. Let's see Mitchell here. What's this painting? The painting in vibrant acrylide colors depicts workers in a space factory, hovering above machinery, sipping coffee tubes. A crescent earth dominates the view through a domed canopy. It's Jill's most mature work to date. Oh, well, at least it's not totally shitty. The bedroom is sparsely furnished with a bed and a bureau. A doorway leads south to the living room, and the bathroom is to the east. I don't see anything here. Oh, here we are. We have more stuff. Oh, Perry. Clave called while you were out, says Jill. The firm is sending him to Japan for a week. He'll call you when he gets back. He says not to worry. He'll only be in the American section. Says the kids keep asking for you. Ask Jill about Clave? It's my inventory. Key a wallet. Let's look at my wallet. It's closed. You hear a commotion in the hallway, and then a half-dozen border security force officers storm in, rifles ready. You freeze as they tramp about the apartment, wielding rad detectors. After a few nightmare minutes, they seem satisfied and begin to file out. The apparent leader turns to you. Sorry for the inconvenience. You know how things are. We're only doing it for your protection. He closes the door behind him. You hear sobbing and turn to see Jill crying in the corner of the living room. Jill's 39 years have done nothing to dim her natural beauty. She is huddled in the corner crying. Talk to Jill. Jill looks at you expectantly, as if you seem to be about to talk. About BSF? Ask Jill about BSF. Jill is sobbing quietly in the corner, doesn't reply. Hug Jill. As you hug her and stroke her back, Jill calms down noticeably. Kiss Jill? Okay. X Jill? She's still crying? Jill, with a few final sniffles, stops crying and begins straightening up the apartment. This is the tiny record off. This is the tiny kitchen of your apartment. Next to the sink is a small refrigerator. Along the western wall, next to the doorway to the living area, is a dinette set. The room is very messy after the BSF raid. See what's in the fridge. A vegetable salad, a granola cluster, and an apple. Get salad. Jill probably made that for herself. Besides, you can't stand anything with avocados in it. Get granola. Taken. Get apple. Taken. Alright. Jill is slowly straightening up after the raid. Let's look at this partition. Totally ordinary. Enter Mitchell? Can't see Mitchell here. Oh, okay. Oh. Whew. Clean up. Clean up room. Begin cleaning up the mess. Let's do it twice. Okay. Sit on couch. Now on the couch. Cry? A tear trickled down your cheek. Stand up. Alright. Open door. So let's go northeast to... Oh. No. Let's go north and then... I wonder northwest. The court is in session. 2 men face the death penalty for attempted rape. Record on. Wait. wait. Attend court. Enter court. Look around you. X-Men. Totally ordinary looking people. Listen. What do you need to do? Oh, that's it. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I was reading the next steps on this walkthrough, which I was saying I was not going to do. So, based on that, though, I'm going to abort this simulation really quick. And I am going to enter interface mode. Yes, I do. I want to simulation controller status. Current simulation demands 0%. Record buffer is currently at 38% of capacity, so let's empty that. Total of real-time simulation year 2041. Total 176720.2. Total of real-time simulation 2051 140.43.8. That's in minutes, seconds, tenths of seconds. So, okay. Interesting. So I wonder if I need to do the same things as before. All right, we can do this. Okay. I'm going to just wait. Nothing. Let's enter sleep mode. Under sleep mode, slipping pleasantly into unconsciousness, you dream of your childhood and later of Jill. Sometime later, you awake feeling relaxed and notice that about 6 hours have passed. Okay. Enter communications mode. What's going on here? Nothing. Can I call Perelman? Dr. Perelman looks at you expectantly, as if you seem to be ask Perelman about plan. Those things aren't here. I wonder if the last thing was a bug. processing. Sorry about that. um. All right. All right. All right. All right. Cool. Enter simulation. Ugh. Every time I forget. Black 46. 13. All right. So we're back here. Let's go up. Let's get back to Rockville here. So interesting. I wonder. Well, let's go to the grocery store. It's a large supermarket. Let's buy groceries. Wander down the aisles, filling the small cart with various items. You select the shortest checkout line. After a moment, the cashier returns your card, informing you that your account has been debited for $73 and that your new balance is $427. A clerk bags your groceries and hands you the bag. Okay. I'm just gonna... I'm curious. I'm just gonna wander. So I've got my cool map. I've got my other cool map, which lines up. Okay. Alright, 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 alright. Let's go... So I'm at Elm Park. Let's go to the post office. It's an old post office, built probably back in the days when mail usually meant letters and packages delivered by a human messenger. So a line of people are waiting at the counter. A doorway leads out to the northwest. Let's turn on record mode. X people? Totally ordinary looking people. Time passes. Okay. Nothing. Okay. Okay. Well. This is the police station. The building is... This is the headquarters for all of the city's precinct stations. The building is at least 85 years old. Behind the reception desk, crowded jail cells are visible. The desk officer looks at you expectantly. Ask officer about cells. Unless you've got a crime to report, scram. Report crime. The officer recites a rapid sing-song about the various forms and official channels and procedures and personnel required for the reporting of a crime. Interesting. Okay. Record off. Maybe if I do see a crime, I can report a specific crime. It's the courthouse. 2 men face the death penalty for attempted rape. So north to Rockville Center. Let's go to City Hall. Record on. Talk to official. You have a brief chat with the government official who grumpily complains that most of his department has been laid off as city services are cut back. Suddenly he notices the time, looks frightened, and rushes away. Warning, record buffer full. Auto deactivation of record feature. Okay. So end simulation. Let's go to Perelman's office and just wait a little bit. Empty buffer? Huh. Okay. And just wait until Dr. Perelman gets there. That was my question. Let's just wait until Dr. Perelman gets there. Here we go. Dr. Perelman walks into the office carrying a cup of coffee. He sits down on his desk, places his coffee mug almost out of sight below your monitor, and begins working. Talk to Perelman. Show Perelman recording. Show recording to Perelman. Perelman looks intrigued. You've recorded something interesting, eh? Let me get a few of my colleagues together and we'll view the buffer. I'll let you know when we're done, okay? And he leaves the room. Oh, let's go to cafeteria? No, it's the same thing. Whoa, here we go. Visual and audio circuits are now hooked directly into the programming of the World News Network. An explosion fills the screen, and a man with torn clothes staggers out of the smoke. They tried to blow him up, says the narrator. A tank moves relentlessly down a busy street, death spitting from his maw. The impact sends the same man flying through a plate glass window. They tried to shoot him down, continues the narrator. Quick cuts of whining chainsaws, bubbling laboratory experiments, crashing pianos, and a struggle high atop the frame of a skyscraper under construction. They tried crushing him, poisoning him, cutting him up, pushing him down, but nothing worked. Because he was the man who couldn't be killed. Starring Jesse Sanchez, the man who couldn't be killed. Available on videotape April 1st from Eagle Studios. Okay. Let's listen again. Now, here's the home entertainment corner with Lula Bergen. The camera cuts to a youthful woman with curly orange hair. The legion of Johnny Ingot fans ensures that a film with his name on it will sell 1 million copies. But based on quality, his new comedy, King of the Kennel, deserves to flop. In his previous films, such as Running Ugly and 2 Dimes for a Nickel, Ingot always combined his zany brand of slapstick humor with a streak of appealing sentimentality. But in King of the Kennel, a film about a love triangle between a soccer player, a female sports writer, and a St. Bernard, Ingot goes for the belly laugh over the witty gag. He throws subtlety to the wind, and sentiment is nowhere to be seen. While King of the Kennel is no worse than many video farces we've seen lately, I expect more from today's premiere film comic. King of the Kennel is available now. Suggested retail price is $89.95. Back to you, Bob. The anchorman reappears. That was the home entertainment corner with Lula Bergen. Sponsored today by Eagle Studios. Producers, the next home hit, The Man Who Couldn't Be Killed. You're watching the World News Network, and we'll be back in a flash with the weather. A woman is walking down a dark, deserted street, glancing fearfully around. The sound of a heartbeat growing faster and louder fills the soundtrack. Suddenly, the woman screams, and the screen goes black. A narrator with a deep, silky voice reads the stark titles that scroll by. Year over year, street crime increases. Doesn't it make sense to protect yourself? G&G's Super Mace. It's the strongest crime repellent allowed by law. Don't wait until it's too late. All right, one last one. Here's Wally the weatherman with the national forecast. Wally? The camera pans to a cheery, rotund man standing before a huge weather map of North America. Thanks, Bob. As you can see in the photo, most of our clouds are currently covering either New England or the lower Mississippi River Valley. New England formation will move out to sea real soon. That other group will be heading eastward, so expect rain all across the South tomorrow. Interesting. Okay. So, I have the maintenance core. You know what? I'm going to save here, actually. And I would rather try to my meter telling me that I'm overwriting an existing save. I want to go instead to interface mode. Yes, I do. I want so other computer status. It's operating 46% of capacity. Satellites currently offline for maintenance. All weather destinations are confirming transmission. Okay. Traffic computer status. Set traffic computer. Set morning rush hour start to 4. Okay. Set morning rush hour end to 6. Okay. And then let's look at the HVAC controller. Heating is on everywhere, cooling's off everywhere, ventilation's on everywhere. Let's. I'm so curious what we can do here. I'm curious if this is just going to kill us again. Set alpha ventilation to off. Turn off alpha ventilation. All right. Cool. Just rogue computer. All right. Enter library mode. Is there anything? No. It's technically only been like a day, so I get it. Okay. Yeah, it keeps doing that. Okay. I'm so confused with this. All right, restore. This is why we saved. Okay, let's just wait. Perelman in prison, private line, no storage. Several of us have just finished viewing the record buffer per your request. Please meet me at the communications outlet in my office right away. Hey, I'm here. Perelman walks into the office and spots the active light on your communication unit immediately. Hello, Prism, he says, sitting down on his desk. Looks like you beat me here. Give me a moment, please. Begins quickly jotting a few notes onto a pad. Prism, several of my colleagues and I have finished viewing the recordings that you made, and frankly, no one really saw anything in them to be concerned about. I'm glad you're keeping busy, though. Find anything else interesting in the simulations, please let me know. I've got to go. Late for a meeting. Bye. Okay, so enter simulation. So we have cleared the record mode, which is great. Great, great, great. I need brown 95. You know, it says you can just always hit 20. Nope. All right, brown 95. 48. Go 20 years in the future. It's 11:02. Let's bolt to the house and then just start recording. At least we know that there is an event there. So, all right, up. The stranger bumps against you, mumbles an apology, and is swallowed by the crowds. Where are we? We're at Elm University. Then you go east to Elm Park, south to South Wayne Park, west to the apartments. Unlock door. West to go in. Unlock door. North to go in. And then let's just like chill and record on and wait. Yes, there we go. You hear a commotion in the hallway and then a half dozen border security force, blah, blah, blah. Sorry for the inconvenience. Blah, blah, blah. Record off. Hug Jill. Ask Jill about raid. I don't know the word raid. Ask Jill about BSF. Jill BSF. Okay. That's fine. Talk to Jill about BSF. Okay. That's fine. We don't need to do anything. We recorded that. That was at least interesting. Open door. We would open southeast. So what? So we need to bring Perelman weird stuff that we see. So let's go east. Let's go north. Let's go north one more time. Let's go west to City Hall. Let's record on Let's talk to official. Record off. Okay. Let's go to the university. I wonder. So you're on University Avenue in the center of a crowded but calm urban campus. There's a dormitory complex on the western side of the road, and the other buildings to the northeast and southeast. I wonder if there's a lecture. There is not. Okay. A skycopter with a loudspeaker disguised as a radar dish hanging below it drifts slowly by overhead, announcing some sort of prayer meeting. Can we listen? The skycopter, heading away, disappears from view. Let's go to Wang Hall. This multi-purpose hall is used for conventions, trade shows, and even an occasional sporting event. The current activity seems to be a jewelry and fur show. You can exit to the north, east, or west. So let's go north. Halley Park East. It's a statue of Francisco Halley, founder of Rockville, rises in the center of the park. To the north is the aquarium. South of here is Boxy Wang Hall. Other exits from the park lead east, northwest, and southwest. The largest section of Halley Park lies to the west. Let's go north to the aquarium. There's nothing here. Okay. This is the western half of Halley Park, bordered on the north by a car lot, on the northwest and west by the zoo, and on the south by Halley Drive. A small duck pond fills the center of the park. Near the zoo entrance is an entrance leading down to the tubes. Let's look at the pond. A few ducks are swimming around the waters of the pond. Record on get duck. Ducks scatter, quacking noisily. Record off. I don't know if that's worth anything. I just thought it might be fun. All right. So I am back to just wandering, it seems. I wonder if I can get a newspaper. We're in Main and Kennedy. This is the heart of the downtown area, flanked by classical glass and steel skyscrapers. The Skybus terminal is to the northwest corner. To the southwest is an entrance to Kennedy Park. The skyscraper on the northeast corner is one of Rockville's most famous landmarks, the Infotech building. This 130-story office tower is the tallest building in the city and the sixth tallest in the world. The high-rise building on the southeast corner is the Sillycorp building, a tall office tower. From this intersection, Main Street runs east and west, and Kennedy Street can take you north or south. I wonder if I can break into these. Let's go to the Sillycorp building. Nope. Let's go to the Infotech building. Nope. So can't get into them. All right. Let's go east. It's a typical four-way intersection between Main and River Streets. An entryway through the massive walls of Jaemon Village fill the southeast corner of the street, and a healthcare facility occupies the northeast corner. That was here before. We were at Main and River. Healthcare, yes. To the southwest is 80 River Street. a fairly modern plastalloy and glass office building. The fourth corner, the northwest, is the site of Perez Towers, a luxury apartment building. Well, let's try to break in. Nope. Can't break in. Let's go to Jaemon Village. It's a landmark in urban development, the first and most famous indoor city. It has been extremely popular, allowing the middle class an opportunity to. I'm checking my things because I thought I could poke around Jaemon City, but I guess not. It has been extremely popular, allowing the middle class an opportunity to live in the city. Indoor cities are being planned in many locations. You can leave the lobby of Jaemon Village to the east, west, or northwest. Coughing, yawning. It's a good day. Well, I got here by southeast. Let's go west? Okay, we're at Elm River. Got it. Okay. Let's go to one of the construction sites. We're at Southway, and then along the east side of the street is the featureless cliff-like facade of Jaemon World. This is the second of developer Salvador Jaemon's Cities Within a City. Rumors say that it wasn't built as well as the older Jaemon Village next door, and indeed, it already shows some minor cracks from settling. Exits from the vast lobby lead west and southwest. What is southwest? Oh, man. River Street curves here, heading downtown to the north and under an old railroad bridge to the southeast. To the northeast is an entrance to the massive indoor city, a row of stores round the curve on the other side of the street, a laundromat to the west, a pharmacy to the southwest, and a hardware store to the south. Let's go to the pharmacy. Buy magazine. You peruse the rack, but there's nothing that interests you. Buy milkshake? First the ice cream counter, but it's pretty crowded, so you decide against it. Let's look at the clerk. You see nothing unusual about the clerk. Okay. I tried. A distant siren pierces the steady background noise of the city streets. What's going on at the laundromat? Nothing. All right, let's go to the church. Actually, let's go to the mall real quick. The shopping mall is a renovated computer factory. There are many stores. Let's look at the stores. Totally ordinary looking store. I try not to curse on stream. That's a pretty strong FU. Can't even name them. Give me something. Come on. So we're back at Elm and Kennedy. This is not where I want to be. I want to be at Church Street. So I'm at Elm and Kennedy. I want to go east. I want to go north. I want to go. This is a typical. So several BSF officers trot out of a nearby building and climb into an unmarked BSF van, which drives away. Okay. Okay. Just some nearby building. One thing that is obvious is that things have gotten a lot more aggressive I'm not totally sure why, except that the plan has been put into place. Let's go east. Main and Church. You're at the corner of bustling Main Street and quiet Church Street. There are nondescript buildings on the northwestern and southwestern corners. A conventional apartment building occupies the southeast corner, and an entrance to Midland Cemetery forms the fourth corner. Some greenery is visible down Church Street to the south. Let's just go in these buildings. As you enter, a security guard, seeing that you have no badge, escorts you back out to the street and then returns to the building. Okay. A doorman, not recognizing you as a resident, turns you away before returning to the building. Fine, we'll go north. Church entrance. We're on Church Street, just east of a large, opulent church displaying the architecture of the 20th century. The street continues north and south. Another church building, probably a rectory, lies to the northwest. An ordinary high-rise apartment is southwest of here. The main entrance to Midland Cemetery is east. Let's go to the rectory. This is part of the St. Michael's complex. You can leave either to northeast or southeast. Let's go back southeast. Let's go to the church. Let's do record on. This is a large church with obviously wealthy congregation. Although this building is over a century old, it is not the original St. Michael's, but is built on the site of the even older original church. The way out is to the east. You suddenly notice a church elder pacing around at the other end of the building. Talk to elder. You have a brief chat with the church elder, who looks worried and complains about the growth of the Church of God's Word and the perceived erosion of religious tolerance. Suddenly he notices the time, mumbles something about a wedding, and rushes off. So where the Church of God's Word, I wonder if that's the other church. So let's go east. A squeal of rubber against asphalt announces a near collision between two road vehicles. So one thing this is doing really well is really quickly, the first one was pretty innocuous, and now it's so much more ominous. And I think that kind of scene setting is done really well in a way that I don't expect. So Midland and Church Street from the south ends at this corner. An abandoned railroad yard spans the northern side of Midland. There's a church rectory on the southwest corner, and to the southeast is an entrance to Midland Cemetery. Midland Avenue heads eastward into the cemetery. So I don't want to go that way. I want to go west. Eastbound Midland Avenue forms a T with River Street at this intersection. To the northeast is a graceful structure of marble and glass bearing the black radar dish symbol of the Church of God's Word. The ALI building, headquarters of the American Life Insurance Group, and a fairly typical 21st century skyscraper, extends along the western side of the street, and a car lot occupies the southeast corner. Two Utes wander past carrying loud porta stereos. I'm going to do record on and then go to the Church of God's Word. Okay. It's not a timed game. It's timed in turns. I can do this. The regional central headquarters of the Church of God's Word, built on the site of an old train station, is an architectural splendor. Light spills down from above, giving the illusion that the countenance of God is gazing down upon a visitor in full force and fury. A huge image of a radar dish, symbol of the church, hangs above the inner sanctums to the east, and impressively tall arched doorways lead out to the northwest and southwest. A wooden rack in the lobby for the purpose of distributing literature about the church contains one pamphlet. Get pamphlet! Taken. Read. Pamphlet. A brief history of the Church of God's Word. The Church of God's Word is the vision of a great man, a man named Ellis Vincent. He alone, Of all the scientists in the Mount who heard the signals, recognized them for what they were, the Word of God. The Holy Prophet was ridiculed and persecuted for his beliefs, but he had the strength that comes from knowing the truth, and followers began to hear those truths and flock around him. They grew in numbers and strength, and when the evil scientists of the Mount attempted to bar Vincent from the instruments there, he and his followers rose up and smote the evil scientists. And so it came to pass in 2025 that the temple was founded on the Mount, and the instrument of the Word was devoted entirely to listening to God's Word. Vincent interpreted the words for his followers, who broadcast the message around the world, and branches of the church appeared in many cities. When Vincent finally became very old, and God began to beckon his servant to his side, he taught the wisest of his followers how to interpret the Word, so the world would continue to understand the Word after he was gone. Those followers became the high priests of the church, who to this day continue to pass along God's Word. Record off. Let's go into the inner sanctum. Only high church officials are allowed into the inner areas. All right, let's go. How did I get in here again? To the northeast, so I don't want to go southwest. Northwest. I found the newspaper dispenser. Heck yeah, let's read a newspaper. A dog runs up to you, barking, then vanishes into the crowds. Yeah, buy newspaper. You insert your card into the newspaper dispenser. Readout flashes, New Balance, $4.99. A newspaper pops out into your hands. Cord on. Read newspaper. The newspaper is extremely thin, and the news section is the thinnest section of all. The lead story deals with a drop in USNA farm output, the first drop in 20 years. A spokesman for the Department of Agriculture attributed the decline to a year of unseasonable cold and low rainfall, and projected that the coming year would more than make up for it. An alternative viewpoint was expressed by the head of the American Association of Agribusiness, who claimed that the drop was caused by overfarming of lands, depletion of aquifers, and an increase in acid rain, and called for a massive government program to save the country's farms. Other stories cover the Ryder administration's support for a strip mining bill, the announcement by Huang Laboratories that without subsidized shuttle flights it would be forced to close Geo 7, the last remaining space factory, committee hearings on euthanasia legislation, the decision by a Church of God's Word priest in Arizona to run for a Senate seat, and a poll showing President Ryder enjoying a 71% approval rating. One of the things that I think is like really valid here is sort of like, and this is supported in interviews with Steve Moretsky, that he was like really disturbed at how much at the sort of landslide of Reagan's election, and like it is unprecedented in the modern age, and it is unprecedented since like it was like an 80% popular vote. Like since I personally have been able to vote, there has not been an election like that. Like that just does not happen. And I think that some of this is like, well, of the time, like sort of the equivalent of like Orange Man bad kind of stuff, but like I can definitely see like that's frightening. And whatever. Everything's always frightening, but like I just I don't know. It's interesting to see like this guy's personal neuroses laid bare like this. And speaking of personal neuroses, uh, we have been streaming for 2 hours. I'm gonna take a quick break and enjoy this. I I am fascinated. I am not sure. I'm back to the first day of playing. I really hope that I don't have to redo this section again because I'm missing something. But I am recording things. I'm wondering if the same list of things is what we need to do. Like, we talked to a government official, we've read a newspaper. I haven't ridden public transit yet, but it starts you at public transit. I attended court. I've talked to a church official. I could go to a movie. So like I wonder if that's the way to do it. I'm trying my best not to read this guide in depth. It has all of the points, I guess. Which is interesting because one of the design documents specifically was like, no, you don't need points. This is not a point-based game. So I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated. This has been probably the most in-depth game that I've played. Um, I think I think Plundered Hearts was a different kind of in-depth. Like I think the writing in Plundered Hearts was so much better just as like narrative interactive fiction writing. I think this is very like just the facts, which is the point. Like that's thematically correct. Um I don't know. I'm fascinated, but I'm gonna take a quick break. We're gonna just chill and listen to some music and um wait until something happens. The goal for me is to hopefully get to. So I wonder if I can. Or do that. Can I enter interface mode? No, I need to abort simulation mode first. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill my recordings, show my recordings to Dr. Perelman, and then see if I do anything to get him to like say anything. I mean, the fact that he's on the fence about the plan, and the fact that the plan will be started in the next few weeks is super interesting too. I'm just so I'm just really interested to see where this goes. But let me stop talking and actually take this break and do all the break stuff, and we'll see you in a few. All right, chills for now. Goodbye. Goodbye. All right. That was perfect timing. I'm actually really, really stoked. I checked Twitter as one does, and one of my favorite journalists liked my going live. post. So that's really cool. So shout outs to Shoshana Wodinsky, who's doing just truly mind blowing work right now in the field that I'm in digital ads. And it's difficult, because I don't have a stream specific Twitter, so it's always interesting when like there's crossovers. Um, let's let's get back to the stream. Um, where's my there's my window. There's my other window. Okay. So yeah. So I'm just gonna wander around, try to find more stuff to do. Let's see what movies are going on. Because I now I'm like I love those 10-minute breaks because you end up thinking a little bit more. And now I'm like doubly convinced that the whole point is to do all the same things again. Um, this might be just a red herring or something, but let's keep going. Let's keep trying to find stuff. So the cinema, the cinema. Where is the cinema? So I'm right now at Bodansky Square. Can I get into the Railroad Museum, actually? Let's go east to the museum entrance. Standing on the south side of Bodansky Boulevard is the Railroad Museum. The street runs east towards the park and west towards the square. If I remember right, this is the Spooky Park. North of here is a car lot, and to the northwest is a huge cinema complex. The sun is dropping very low in the western sky. So one thing I really want to do is find some kind of crime. And I don't know if that happens now or if that happens later. But let's go watch a movie. Downtown Cinema Quad is a 4-theater movie complex with all the latest holographic and personalized stereo technology. Marquee above the ticket window announces the current features. A hallway leads into the theaters, and there are exits north and east to car lots and southeast of the street. Let's read the marquee. According to the marquee, the current features of the cinema are Manure Marauders, a long-running comedy, a horror thriller called Not Until I Scream, and the 6th and 7th films of the popular Foreign Raiders series. Buy ticket. You insert your card in the ticket seller. A readout flashes New Balance $484, and a ticket pops out into your hands. Record on. Watch movie. The usher takes your ticket, and you step into the darkened theater and find an empty seat. You begin watching Manure Marauders, but it's so insipid that after about 15 minutes, you decide you've seen enough and head out into the lobby. Well, all right. Movies always get worse. There are no good movies ever. Okay. Let's get back to the street. Let's go to the Railroad Museum. This museum is devoted to the entire history of rail travel. Through huge glass windows on the southern wall of the entrance lobby, you can see the old railroad yards through the station. The street is to the north, and another exit leads east. Just turn on recording and look at the yards. Totally ordinary looking railroad yards. Totally ordinary looking window. Can't go south. Okay, well, worth a shot. Ooh, another exit leads east. Let's go east. We're at the Riverside Park. It's the city's most popular park. From the hilltop is a beautiful view of the river as it bends off to the east. Past the various exits lead north, northwest, west, and southwest. Let's go north. We're at the Symphony Hall. This is the home of the Rockville Symphony Orchestra. An exterior balcony offers a fine view of the river to the east. There are exits to the southeast, southwest, and north. The current of the river is strong and the water is quite unhealthy. Okay. Let's keep going north. We're at the Symphony entrance. The airport way curves northeast along the river towards the airport, and a road leads north into the military base. On the south side of the street is Symphony Hall, and next to it is the car lot. Go to the military base. This is the entrance gate to the Manville Border Security Force base. Base road continues northwest in the base and southeast away from it. Let's go into the base if we can. The gate is closed. A guard brusquely informs you that non-military personnel are not allowed beyond this point. Okay. Well, interesting. Let's go towards the airport. The airport way ends here in a huge loop past the terminal buildings of Rockville International Airport. The main terminal building can be entered to the north, and the road leads southwest back towards the city. Let's try to get on the terminals. The main terminal building has an exit to Airport Way on the south. The airport gates are east of here, and the spaceport gates lie to the north. There's a large red sign over the gates, and BSF guards are everywhere. Stairs lead down to a tube station. Look at the guards. You see nothing unusual about the guards. Let's try to go to the spaceport. Can't get into the gate area without a boarding pass. Bypass. You have no reason to leave the city except curiosity. Okay. Let's go south. Let's go west. Southwest. West. Airport Way and River. The road east of the airport begins here. River Street continues north towards the reservoir, curving around to run along its southern shore. A high school, a theater, and a hotel can be entered to the west, southwest, and southeast, respectively. The northeast is the perimeter fence of the Manville Border Security Force Base. Let's go to the west. School seems closed for the night. Let's go to the theater. This is the lobby of a modern theater built on the site of the original Wells Theater, which dates to the middle of the last century. According to a showcase, the current season includes productions of Wilder's Our Town, Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, Rodgers and Hammerstein's Oklahoma, and Griselda and Rice's Prairie Song. The theater has exits to the northeast and southeast. Can we buy a ticket? The current season is already sold out. Okay. Well, let's go north towards the reservoir. River Street, after paralleling Kennedy Street across the city, curves westward and intersects it here. Kennedy ends at this point since the reservoir forms the northern border of River Street. Rockville High School is on the southeast corner and an athletic field is southwest of here. Their game? Their game? It's an outdoor athletic field for Rockville High School with facilities for baseball, soccer, as well as track and field events. Bleachers line one side of the field, and there are exits in the fence to the northeast and northwest. Sit on bleachers. You're now on the bleachers. Let's wait a little bit. Let's sleep. There's no bed here. Okay. Get up. Northwest. We're at River and Park. River Street off to the east ends here at Park Street, which curves from the south to the northwest. A stadium sky car lot is on the west side of Park, and some sort of athletic field is to the southeast. All along the north side of River Street is a vast expanse of placid water, Rockville Reservoir. The street is dark and almost completely deserted. Only a few people are visible, hurrying to destinations unknown to you. Reservoir is fenced off. It's a parking lot for Rockville Municipal Stadium, which can be entered to the west. You can leave the lot to the east. Let's see what's going on in the stadium. Rockville's Municipal Stadium is a multi-purpose sporting event facility, home of both baseball's Rockville Bobcats and soccer's Rockville Rockets. Stadium exits lie to the southeast and northeast. A tube station lies directly under the stadium. Let's go south. We're in a parking lot, which we can leave to the south. So we are to the zoo. You're on Aquarium Drive, where a road branches off to the south into the zoo. To the west, the drive passes under the old interstate. North of here is an entrance to the stadium sky car lot. Let's go south into the zoo. The Rockville Zoological Garden is a moderately sized zoo, but it's well designed, featuring natural habitats nestled between grassy hills. The main entrance lies to the north, while with other exits leading east and southeast. You can just make out the old elevated interstate forming the western border of the zoo. Does nobody drive anymore? Alright. Let's go southeast. At Halley Park West, we're at the Duck Pond. You know what, let's ride. Let's wait. Omnifab plant. Let's record on, and let's enter car. It says typical tube car, moderately clean with a splash of graffiti. Doors of the car are open. Let's look at the graffiti. Graffiti is ugly but inoffensive, mostly various names and initials. We're at the Skybus terminal. Transfer between brown and red. So I'm curious. Leave car, record off, up. We're at the Skybus terminal. Skybuses depart from this terminal for many suburban points. The boarding platforms lie to the northwest, and the exit to the street is to the southeast. The stairway leads downward. All the gates are closed. Fine. We're at Main and Kennedy. Where were some of the other... Looking at my map, which you can't see, where were some of the other construction things? So that's Southwest Kennedy. I didn't write down all of them. I wish I did. Oh, SimCity 3000. All right. All right, let's go south to Kennedy. So we're at Elm and Kennedy. Can we just go straight south to Southway and Kennedy? We can. Let's mark that on our map. So, yeah, on the northwest corner is a tall, ugly office tower. That was a construction site. The words First Continent Bank Building hang in large metal letters over the entrance, and a car lot fills the northeast corner. A row of old brick triple deckers, once renovated, lies lines the southern side of the street. The building seems to be closed for the night. Let's just sleep. And a surge of adrenal fear passes through you as sirens all around begin wailing, an audio sine wave announcing the beginning of curfew. No, now I want to walk around. Beginning of curfew? Absolutely not. Oh, well. Record buffer full. Auto deactivation of record feature. So let's abort the simulation. Back to communications mode. Let's go to Perry's office, Perelman's office, and let's wait a little bit. Let me just sleep. Show Perelman. No. Show recording to Perelman. Let's see Perelman here. It is 6 a.m. So just kind of have to wait, I think. Because I think he shows up at 10 o'clock. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, well. Enter communications mode. Perelman's office. Dr. Perelman is sitting at his desk, reading through stacks of papers and occasionally typing on his desk terminal. Steam from a cup of coffee is fogging the lens of your visual unit. That's kind of delightful. Perelman looks intrigued. You recorded something interesting, eh? Let me get a few of my colleagues together and we'll view the buffer. I'll let you know when you're done, okay? He leaves the room. So it's usually an hour. A message begins coming over the message line. Perelman to Prism, private line, no storage. Several of us have just finished viewing the record buffer. Per your request, please meet me at the communications outlet in my office right away. I am there. Perelman walks into the office and spots the active light on your communication unit immediately. Hello, Prism, he says, sitting down at his desk. It looks like you beat me here. Give me a moment, please. Begins quickly jotting a few notes onto a pad. Perelman looks up. Prism, several of my colleagues and I have finished viewing the recordings that you made, and everyone agreed that your recordings from 2051 were intriguing. However, everyone also agreed that there weren't enough recordings from other years to show any sort of significant pattern. Maybe you could collect some more data, make some more recordings, then report back to us. Well, I've got to run, but I'll talk to you later. And he leaves the room. So there's not enough recordings from other years to show any sort of significant pattern. Enter interface mode. Yes. Simulation controller status. We can go further. Based on the data accumulated during previous simulations, simulations are available for 10, 20, and 30 years in the future. So let's effing save. All right. Let's enter simulation mode. Yellow 50. 96. Will. Select simulation year 30. So we start at South Wayne River. Holy cow. Let's just start recording. Here at River Street, Southway ends its long trip from the western suburbs. South of here, the street bends towards the river. To the southwest are some brick houses, and a car lot occupies the northwest corner. All along the east side of the street is the featureless cliff-like facade of Jaemon World. Little, if anything, is being done to restore the top several floors gutted by fire about 5 years ago. That fire, which cost several thousand lives, revealed a severe deficiency of built-in fire control systems. But the courts threw out all suits since the building was built after the deregulation of the construction industry in '38, and the developer never falsely represented the building's safety systems. The street is bustling with lunchtime crowds. Let's go to Jaemon World. So we're at Southway and River. This is a rundown indoor city, the second of its kind. It was completed in 2042. The only lighting in the lobby comes from the tall entrance doors to the west and southwest. Okay, record off. So we have been here before. And so the distant siren pierces the steady background noise of the city streets. Let's look at this Vibromat. It's a totally ordinary looking one. Ah, yes, totally ordinary. A grocery store with dimly lit windows revealing sparse stacks of cans spans the southern side of the street. Let's look at ourselves. You look much as you always have, a normal middle-aged male, perhaps a little older and a little grayer. Your clothes are a bit old and ratty. So I'm now convinced that, yeah, this list of things to do is what we need to do in every cycle. So this is a large supermarket and it's beginning to show its age. The shelves are sparsely filled with plain, badly labeled tins. The exit to the street is north and exit to the car lot is southwest. Buy groceries. Wander down the aisles, but the food is so sparse and unappetizing that you decide not to buy anything. Just wanted to record that. All right. Interesting. We're at Parkview Apartments. You're in the vestibule of a typical high-rise city apartment building. A wide expanse of labeled buzzards and tiny mailboxes fills one wall. The mailboxes have been extensively vandalized, and graffiti is sprayed across every surface. Glass doors lie closed to the west. Next to this inner door is a tangle of cords where a picture phone has been ripped out by vandals. The street lies to the east. Unlock door. Just see if I have anything. Open wallet. Just driver's license. Yep, still live at the same place. Unlock door. Record on. Oh. This is the large living area of your apartment with a bedroom to the north and a kitchen to the east. The front door of the apartment next to the couch on the south wall is open. A huge window provides a panoramic view to the west. Jill's current artistic endeavor, an acrylide painting, is on her easel next to the entrance to your kitchen. In one corner is the old word processor where you do your writing. A thin partition separates Mitchell's sleeping area from the rest of the living room. Some of Mitchell's stuff seems to be missing. Let's look at the painting. The painting, in subdued shades of brown and gray, is of a beggar woman, her face a mask of suffering. Where is everybody? Damn it, I've missed this. You hear a noise from the open doorway, and Jill comes running into the room. She seems terribly upset, throws herself against you, and begins sobbing uncontrollably. As you attempt to comfort her, she begins speaking between the sobs. It's Mitchell, she begins, and a lifelong fear of injury to your only child clutches at your heart. He's gone off and joined the Church of God's Word. He came and collected all of his stuff about an hour ago. He said he's going to an orientation camp in Arizona. He says he'll never be able to speak to you or me again unless we join the church. I followed him all the way to the airport, but he wouldn't listen to me. Wouldn't even say goodbye to me. Wouldn't even. She begins sobbing even more uncontrollably, breaks away from you, and runs into the bedroom. Jill is lying on the bed, sobbing. Jill says, asking Jill about Mitchell, Jill says, I'll be okay. I just need to be alone for a while. A moment later, she adds, I love you, Perry. She buries her face in the pillows. Just hug Jill. Okay. Great. Let's see what's in the... Oh. God, I just need to leave. I'm going to write this down. So we'll have to walk through all this again, probably next time, because it's coming up on the end of streaming for me. But I need to just leave the recording on. When we're at the home. You hear a commotion in the hallway, and then as you rush to the living room, a half dozen Border Security Force officers storm in, rifles ready. You freeze as they tramp about the apartment, wielding rad detectors. After a few nightmare minutes, they seem satisfied and begin to leave. One officer turns to you. The place is clean, he says gruffly. Keep it that way. He slams the door behind him. All right, well, let's go to Bodansky Boulevard. I don't know the word M either. I just want to go to the Jaemon Village building. See what's going on. The oldest of the indoor cities looks typically ill-maintained. The only lighting in the lobby comes from the tall entrance doors to the east, west, and northwest. So I don't know if recording all this is necessary, but we'll see. Let's go to the healthcare facility. This once superb medical facility has fallen upon hard times, and as its wealthy members have abandoned it in favor of better facilities, and the remaining poorer members were unable to maintain the previous levels of health care. There are exits southwest, the street, and north to a car lot. So we're back by the church. I wonder, we're at Midland and River. Let's not go to this church. Let's go to the other church. There's a closed church building on the southwest corner. Building is closed, its doorways and windows boarded over. All right, let's go to the actual church. Get pamphlet. Read pamphlet. It's been 10 years. Let's see what happens. Hear and obey the word of God. Ever since the brave crusade of the holy prophet Vincent against the evil sinners of the Mount, the priests of the Church of God's Word have been the sacred guardians of God's mouth, passing along his word as sent down from the heavens. The Lord Most High has been growing angry at his flock, angry that there are some who do not heed his word. He's sending a sign, a fiery star, that will soon burn in our nighttime skies, to warn us that all he created in his image must become brethren of his church. The punishment for not doing so will be swift and cruel, and directed not at just against the sinners, but against all of mankind, such that all will suffer for the sins of the few. Our Father and Creator is demanding, but he's also generous and kind. When the day arrives that all men have joined his church and heed his word, he will bring down upon the earth an epic of such peace and beauty as the world has not seen before Eden. The church he gives us is simple. Turn away and suffer, or follow and live to see heaven on earth. I don't like this. Can we go inner sanctums? No. All right. A distant splintering explosion can only be the sound of another sky car crash. Oh, we didn't eat at a restaurant last time. Let's do that. Northeast corner, restaurant. Party of one sniffs the maitre d'. Yeah. Record on. Yes. Maitre d' shows you to a small table at the back of the restaurant. Wait, time passes. Waiter jots down. The waiter hands you a lunch menu, and after perusing the meat prices, you settle on an overpriced kelp fillet, the cheapest item on the menu. Waiter jots down your order and reminds you of the restaurant policy of payment in advance. Give waiter card. Thank you, sir. I'll be back shortly with your meal. Whoa! The waiter places your kelp fillet in front of you. You eat the entire dish, and while it was tasty, you still feel it wasn't worth the price. After a moment, the waiter returns your card, informing you that your account has been debited for $65, that your new balance is $135, which means that we have definitely dropped in level, in income level. That's so interesting. All right, record buffer is full, so we need to abort simulation. And then let's see, Dr. Perelman, show recordings to Perelman. Time passes. Perelman to Prism, private line, no storage. So same thing. Your recordings from 2051 are intriguing. However, everyone also agreed that there weren't enough recordings from other years to show any significant pattern. Okay. So enter simulation. Light gray 11. Light gray 11. 48. Man, this is what I get for buying the cheapest mouse I could to replace the cheapest mouse that I could buy. Okay. Select simulation year 30. Okay. So we're at Southway and River. We need to go west, 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 west. No. Unlock. Door. West. Unlock. Door. North. Record on. It's Mitchell. She begins sobbing. She runs into the bedroom. We go north. We hug Jill. I'll be okay. We go south. Let's look at this word processor. It's an old model. Type. You're not in the proper mood for writing. Just kind of, yep, there we go. We have the next border security thing and record off. Okay, south, east, east. Oh, whoops. Door's closed. Let's actually open the fridge because I think that was super interesting. Look in fridge. The fridge is empty. Okay. Also heartbreaking. Okay. Open door. South, east, east. So let's go all the way back to Bodansky. Just straight there, Midland and River. Okay. Two policemen across the street are savagely beating a dark-skinned youth. A hot dog peddler catches their attention and they begin buying some food. The youth slinks away. No. So, the Railroad Museum is boarded off. The entrance is boarded over. A yellowed sign under the boards reads, "Closed for remodeling. Reopening September 2058. It is June 2061, for the record. Aquarium and River. So where's the cinema? Should be Main and River, huh? No, that's Jaemon. Can we go east into Jaemon? So it's another grocery store. It's interesting. The Coachman. You were in a large, well-known restaurant, a favorite of wealthy churchmen. Car lot and street lie to the northwest. Record on. Yes. Wait. Still kelp fillet. Pay for meal. Possible because wallet is closed. Give card to waiter. Open wallet. Give card to waiter. Thank you, sir. I'll be back with your meal. So we're in the cemetery. We didn't go to the cemetery last time. Midland Cemetery occupies one of the nicest pieces of land in the city atop the rolling bluffs of the West Bank. The cemetery dates back to the time of the original St. Michael's building, and some of the gravestones are 200 years old. The main gate of the cemetery is west of here, and other gates lie to the south, southwest, and northwest. Well, I really want to find a newspaper. You can enter the church to the north. The First Methodist Church. Okay. Forward on. This building exhibits both best and worst features of 21st century neoclassical architecture. The congregation must have been very large, judging by the size of the car lot to the south. Main entrance to the church is at the northeast. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna save, and I think we've gotten really far. I think we've got one more game out of this. I'm intrigued. I do think that it's kind of heavy-handed. I think that there's definitely some like flaws. But I think I just think it might be interesting. I just don't know quite. I just don't know quite what's going on. When it comes to what we need to do, I'm kind of concerned that like I'm missing a major step here. And I just think maybe I'm missing something that maybe I wouldn't have been otherwise. So I think this is a good time to end. I do think that this is increasingly heavy handed. I think they're not they're saying that things are getting worse, but I'm not sure if they're being explicit about like why. I'm still really, really confused about why kind of um why they've given us so many neat things to play with and then not anything else really beyond that. Like the interact kind of thing. I'm sitting here like why even have that if it's just like if you play with it you're going to die. So I'm wondering what like the third act is. Cuz I feel like the first act is getting the initial run of the simulation. And then the second act would be these two runs. And then if there's a third act, it's like trying to put it all together. Um, Trying to put it together in a way that like hopefully makes any sense. Um, I just I'm so unsure what